Hello, 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 all, and welcome to Fantasy Map Friday. We're mixing things up a little bit. We got a new setup, slightly new setup anyway, I should say. We do have some stuff to catch up on, right? Like there's some housekeeping. So first off, I need to share my go lives. So give me 2 seconds here, and we will get things moving. So real quick, I do want to, quick housekeeping. I kind of took a little bit of time off because I have been planning my moves. I've got a lot of really cool stuff in the works. So basically, just so as we all know what those things are, because it's not like I'm trying to keep these things a secret. In fact, I'm trying to do the opposite of that. I'm trying to not keep these things a secret. I started a YouTube channel, first off, and I've been trying to be a little more active on Threads. I need to be more active on Blue Sky, but that's a whole other thing. I have a nasty habit of just posting my go lives on Blue Sky, and it's not it, right? So I always feel bad too, because like a bunch of the people that I follow are also on at this time, because this is like the time to be streaming, so it feels like I'm competing with all my friends. Which I'm not. There's no competitions. When one of us wins, we all win. I just can't, do both at the same time, which is fine. It's fine. But all is good. So, today what we're going to be doing, after I get all this started, is we're going to, make a dungeon map. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be cool. Or not a dungeon map, a town map. Because that's where the cool stuff is. So, and I haven't drawn a town map in a very long time. So, we're excited about that. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. Yes. Where's my... Alright. I think that is all the places. Yes, that's all the places. So, anyhow, how are we all doing tonight? It's a beautiful Friday night. Perfect time for drawing some fantasy maps. Also, real quick, I have a little thing that I wanted to try, and I don't know how well it's going to work. But that is the beautiful thing about experiments. And I literally just remembered about this. Although I may not have the thing. Do I not? I might not. You are USB-C. So I bought this thing, and I'll just put it right here. This is a little light board. You know what I can do? Because it cable plug standardization is a pain, and no one ever wants to do it. This uses a micro USB, and all I have around me are USB-Cs. But if I use my cable that came with my drawing tablet, I might just... except I don't have a thing to plug it into. Might be able to plug it into the computer. Experimentation. If I accidentally turn my computer off, it would not be the first time, and I'm so sorry. Because I have to do this blind, because otherwise I have to like get way down underneath. Okay. And then, but this thing's actually really cool. It's a tracing tablet, but I got it because sometimes the lighting is not great. So y'all are going to be with me while I do this little experiment, and y'all tell me if it works. You ready? Aha! And now the page is backlit, which should hopefully help us see what we're doing. So I guess before we do anything, we should test it out. Yep, it works. Hooray! Well, that's not going to get annoying. Oof. This is why we experiment with things, because otherwise we would have never known that could happen. It makes perfect sense considering the button's right there, but no one ever accused me of being of having a lot of foresight. Okay. So, today, let me put this over here. And my big concern was that this light, like the side panel light, might be too bright, but that doesn't seem to be the case, and I'm really excited about that. Ooh, you know what we can do? We can do that. Hook it into the tripod so that it stays out of our way. But yeah, I was a little concerned about that side panel being too bright. Okay, so let's draw a town map, shall we? Oh, and it gives me this nice little like underlighting. So, town map. First, we have to think about kind of what kind of town this is going to be. I'm kind of thinking, let's make this like a starting town, right? Like almost like a Phandalin type thing, where it's, you know, not sparsely populated, but not exactly like a population center. So like, village, right? So, I always like to start off with the planning. Actually, I'm not going to use. I like to use harder pencils for the planning phase because the lines or it doesn't show up as much, which of course doesn't really function well on a stream. But you know, if I was doing this digitally, this would be the sketching layer. I always like to start with what am I trying to say? Landscape. Like what kind of terrain, what kind of things we're going to see. And a couple of things that I know about, you know, just geography and how towns and cities form. There's almost always some body of water around it. So let's do keep it simple. Let's do a river. So the river kind of run bisecting the town. And let's do kind of some hills over here. And a hill. Just a slight terrain variation over there. Just to, you know, have that be a thing. Okay. So then we can kind of have a couple of bridges because, like, yeah, technically if you're a small enough community, you really only need the one bridge, but you know, maybe there's two. There's two. We'll say there's two because I want there to be two, and it's my map. I can do whatever I want. So the first little batch of place will be up here. We'll do another batch right here, and then something up on this hill, and something up on this hill. and then something here. And this will be kind of where we put all of our community. And then after we build the houses, like, well, technically, like if we were being natural about this, we put the trees down, then we build the houses. But since the houses would have been cut out of the trees, we put the houses and then the trees past that. So, how bad are we gonna be on this? Well, we'll do. We'll make them squarish. Two houses there. Obviously, I'm not so intense about it that I'm gonna try to make it, perfect. Because this is a village where everyone would have built their homes, and if you see like a medieval building, they are not square. They did their best. But having one square edge to work from can be really helpful. Actually, I'm going to mix this one up just a little bit. So, there's our first little batch of houses. Also, just because, again, if you're going to have something on a river, it's very important that you have the age-old, or the iconic water wheel. Because how else are we going to, grind up our stuff and, do stuff with it. It's always important to think about, some of the things that are going to be present in your village while you're making it. So like every village is obviously going to have a lot of the same things, right? Like every village is going to have like a smithy. It's going to have, a stable. It's going to have, an inn, tavern, pub type place, and like a community center, usually pretty close to said inn or pub. If we're thinking in terms of like fantasy, I imagine in history there were probably some towns that didn't want to have a whole lot of visitors, and so they wouldn't maybe build an inn. But I could be wrong on that. I don't know. In my world, hospitality is a really big deal, and so it's customary in most parts of the world to have some sort of hospitality for people. And we will Enbridgeify these a little more. But just having them there. All right, so then then, of course, some houses are just going to be there for decoration, and, because if you're going to have a village, you got to have people to live there. So, I think actually what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have this building be the stables. So it's a little bit, because it feels a little bit bigger than some of the others. So we're going to have this one be the stable. fenced-in area. Okay. Another one of those things to kind of just navigate is that, of course, you're going to have to have roads going in and out of places. So, actually, what I'm going to do is, because that house is just a little too big, I think. Desire path, so it's not going to be as well worn, but I still want it to show up. So basically, the people that live in this house sometimes they need to cross this bridge, so they're not gonna go up to the road. They're gonna follow the desire path. And the same is kind of true right here, because we'll have this kind of be maybe a little bit more of a well-worn desire path, but okay. So here we have roads. All right, so here we have we got a nice little village forming here. Right, a couple of houses. That house is probably a little too big or a little too wide. These sorts of maps are actually one of my favorites to draw, just because they're very chill. You don't have to draw, you don't have to do all those high stakes like, let's figure out trap layouts and you can just like draw a map, whatever map you want to draw, and you don't want to get too carried away, because I think I think the standard is you want to think about it as like there's around 3 to 5 people per house, and you want to think about the size of the town you want to build. So like if you want to make a village of like 50 to 100 people, 3 to 5 people per building, you want that what is it, 100? So you want no more than about 20. So 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Plus, 10, really. 11. So if I want this village to be 100 people, it needs to be 100, or it needs to be what? I did that math. What did I just say? 20. If it's 5 people per building, it's 20. If it's 3 people per building, it's... I was a liberal arts major. I wasn't made to do this kind of math. Well, 3 times 10 is 30. So 30, 60, 90 would be 35 houses. So between 20 and 35 houses, basically, for a village of about 100 people. We got there. And this would be kind of the town square. So, right, so like there's this place, it's a little more thing, but then like well, actually, no, this should probably, around here should probably be closer to the town square, considering that it is kind of the entry point to the town, so. But we can have kind of a secondary square down here. I'm okay with the building right there. It's just, it was too long. This will be kind of the road out of town. think the ruler's doing me more harm than good, if I'm honest. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. I feel like it's a little more visible without the light. Maybe when I'm doing the inking, that'll be better, but either way. Well then, so basically this is going to be trees. Up here is going to be trees, or just wild land. So this will be where we put the secondary square right here. Or not really secondary square, but we'll put another little neighborhood right here. All right, I think that about covers it. No, I think just as a we'll put a place of worship, I think, would be the appropriate kind of thing here. So it's like a little bit more, not decadent, but a larger space. Okay, so that's the basic layout of our village. Hooray! Oof. And now we get our pens with which to ink. Because this is the fun part. At least for me. It's fun for me. Alright. So, first off, we do the river. which the river has kind of a rougher outline. Because there's like stuff that we're going to add to it when we get to the thinner books for 2024, and I know there's some controversy. Like there are people who are like, I don't really want the 2024 rules. I don't really care about the 2024 rules. And I know there's some people who are like, I might be curious about the 2024 rules, except that Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro has kind of a lot to answer for, because they've dropped the ball quite a bit over the last few months and years. So there are people who are just have completely given up on them. But what do we think? Light on? Light off? We'll see. But I've actually never owned the 2014 rules. So the only 2014 book I own is, weirdly enough, Xanathar's Guide to Everything. Got it as a present from a friend. And so I never had actually the full rule set, which is part of the reason why I decided to just go ahead and get the 2024 rules. But I'm actually really excited because it gives me something to bind. Not necessarily that I'm going to rebind the core rule books, but D&D gives me a lot of creative energy. And so it makes me kind of excited because coming down the pipe, one, you may notice if you go to my stream page that I've updated my schedule to include a bookbinding stream on Wednesdays, which I'm really excited about. We're going to start doing some themed bookbinds because after all, this is Joey's Fantasy Craft, not Joey Plays Final Fantasy and draws fantasy maps. It can be that. If I want it to be that, it will be that. But it's so much more. I actually already have a couple of ideas of binds based around some of the monsters in the new monster manual. Like I really want to make a Blob of Annihilation journal. I think that could be cool. Sorry, thought I heard something. Because I will, like, I heard a lot of people talking about how the Blob of Annihilation was kind of one of the coolest things in the new monster manual. So when I finally got it, that was one of the first things I looked for. And I gotta say, it is pretty cool. it's cool that there's, you know, because I feel like the oozes kind of get a they get underestimated. Like one of my favorite one shots I ever ran was I sent my party against is it the black ooze or like the ochre jellies? One of them eats your equipment. And that was a really fun one shot because like between that and the I also, you know, there was also a gelatinous cube because if you're gonna have an ooze based one shot, you have to have a gelatinous cube. This is not an option. But it was a really fun one shot. And so being able to step it up a little bit and have, you know, an ooze that is actually a world-ending threat, it's pretty cool. Fenced-in little paddock. Okay. All right. So I kind of think that this was not exactly what I was wanting, but that's okay. Again, experiments are important. I need to slow down. I'm starting to rush a little bit. It's making me make some mistakes. that all of them? I think that's all of them. It's always amazing to me. Once you pull the pencil marks off, it's like that's when you actually see it. At least for me. So now we have to ask, well, there's a couple of things that we still have left to do. We're not going to have time to do anything else on this map today. But we still have to put in the environment. But, and I'm going to put this up in a Threads poll. You know, go make your voice heard by following me on Threads. There's a link to my link tree down in my Twitch bio. Or you can just go follow me at Threads, Joey's Fantasy Craft. But I will put up a poll later on in the week about whether I should color this map or just grayscale it. So if I should shade it in with a pencil or if I should actually color it with colored pencil. And we will make that happen. Well, whatever we decide, we will make that happen. So, real quick, before we do anything, let's take this one. And this is a tough one because you want to give it that 3D effect. You want the paddles. Okay, there we go. Give it that 3D effect. But basically, you know, do I color this in with colored pencils, or do I just shade it in? So that will be the big poll that we will do. Now, with all that said, I think this is a good place to wrap things up. It's been a wonderful Fantasy Map Friday, and it's really nice to be getting back into the swing of things. Monday will be my next stream, and I will be streaming Final Fantasy II. We're gonna see how far we get. We might beat it, we might not. We'll see. And then following that, on Wednesday, we'll have a bookbinding stream. So that will be awesome. Looking forward to doing all of those things. And also, you know, I would be, who would I be if I didn't shill my other things? On my YouTube channel, same handle, Joey's Fantasy Craft, I'm doing a little, what I'm calling a first level adventure where I'm working on my actual drawing skills. I know it seems weird to say like I'm doing art streams, but I'm also doing this like I'm learning how to draw. It's a little more formalized, a little more directed there. But I post videos every Monday about me learning how to draw more, like I said, more intensely. And then I do a lot of shit posted on Threads. So, yeah, go find me in those places or just tune in. And no obligations, obviously, for anything. So, but thanks to everyone who has popped in and out, and I look forward to the next time. Y'all have a great night.